Presented by Aries Stewart. Good morning, Aries.
Good morning, Sophie.
The headlines.
Political meetings stir speculation in Port Louis as two separate gatherings bring key government and alliance members together at the Prime Minister's office. Malagasy businessman Mami Ravatomanga questioned for several hours at the Financial Crimes Commission in connection with alleged money laundering activities. Mauritian households brace for higher grocery bills as dairy prices set to climb from November 8, while the Commerce Minister hints at possible future price control mechanisms. Teenage suicide highlights Mauritius's growing cyberbullying crisis as activists call for stronger laws. In world news, the Philippines reels under devastation after typhoon leaves at least 114 dead and over 120 missing. And in sports news, Champions League drama lights up Europe in group stage. The agenda in Port Louis appeared somewhat disrupted yesterday. Observers tried to decode a few movements towards the Prime Minister's office, where there are meetings, formal or informal, about the political situation. According to our information, there were two, one serious, the other a bit less. The agenda seemed to revolve around the political situation and certain points that needed clarification. And we've learned that yet another meeting will take place this afternoon at the Prime Minister's office. Pranav Bihari and Jenny Yapa tell us more.
Discussions behind the doors of the PMO sparked curiosity throughout the day yesterday. Friction, disagreement, discord, rumors swirled for hours, fueling speculation. One verifiable fact, a meeting did indeed take place at 3 p.m. Some members of the Labour Party met with the Prime Minister. Among them was Patrick Assiavaden. He told the NBC that the discussion focused on the government action and the political situation. There's a lot being said, we told him. His response, nothing serious. The Labour Party president mentioned another, this time informal meeting that took place earlier in the day. Present were 5 MMM ministers and 3 Labour members, including himself. Alongside him, Rajesh Bhagwan, Ajay Ganesh, Devan Nagalingam, and Nabar Marie, Adila Miamia, Arvind Bolel, and Anil Bechu. The meeting, which lasted about 30 minutes, took place away from the Prime Minister's office. According to Patrick Assiavaden, it had been scheduled, but the agenda shifted to address the general situation in the country and to clear up certain misunderstanding between them. When asked how this informal meeting ended, he replied on a very good note. Another source within the Labour Party confirmed to Rm1 that these meetings did take place, assuring that there is no reason to fear any cracks, not even sparks, they said. However, some disagreements were acknowledged, particularly regarding delayed appointments, the functioning of certain institutions, and a lack of organization and communication within the alliance, notably related to the landing of the private jet from Madagascar. All these issues will, it seems, inevitably be discussed again at 3 p.m. today, when ruling alliance will meet in greater numbers at the Prime Minister's office with the Prime Minister's presence.
And staying in news, making headlines, Malagasy businessman Mami Ravatomanga, whose private jet landing had stirred controversy, was questioned yesterday for several hours at the Financial Crimes Commission for suspected money laundering under close medical supervision. According to our information, his mobile phone was first examined before he was confronted with elements linked to money laundering. The meeting with former FCC Commissioner Junaid Fakim was also discussed. We take a listen to this report by Lovina Sophie, voiced over by Rupeshna Ajuda.
After several weeks of hospitalization at the Premium Care Clinic, Mami Ravatomang reached the Réduit Triangle aboard an ambulance escorted by FCC and SSU officers. The Sodia CEO replied to questions from FCC investigators during 4 hours. He was informed of the charges against him, namely conspiracy and money laundering. Mami Ravatomang, for his part, is requesting that the prosecution be dropped. According to his lawyer, Siddharth Hawaldar, focus was drawn on a meeting on October 14th in Quatre-Bornes. The Malagasy businessman confirmed his presence at the meeting, his lawyer added. Details will follow in the upcoming investigations. The investigation kicked off on several aspects. That is a probe into money laundering as well as conspiracy. When they come back tomorrow, they will cover all these aspects more in depth. After that, it has been agreed with the FCC to provide for his clients to appear in court with regards to his provisional. Mami Ravatomang is contesting the freezing of his assets by authorities who suspect him of illicit transfers amounting to 7.8 billion rupees through the Mauritian banking system.
Starting November 8th, the prices of several dairy products, including Yoplait, Kanja, Yop, and Silhouette, will increase, with some items rising by up to 13 rupees. For example, 1 kilogram packs of Green Meadow and Cowland milk powder will now cost 212 rupees, while popular products such as Yop, Silhouette, Fouté, Safari Pêche, Perrette, 250ml, and Candy, up to 1 liter, will also see slight hikes. Distributor Panagora Marketing attributes the price rise to the fluctuation of the euro exchange rate, while Commerce Minister Michael Sikyan reminds that these are liberalized products not subject to price control. He adds that studies are underway to explore possible price regulation mechanisms for certain essential goods in the future. Cyberbullying is taking a dramatic toll in Mauritius. Just days ago, a 17-year-old girl took her own life after intimate photos of her were shared publicly, a tragedy that exposes the growing scale of the silent crisis affecting young people. According to Priscilla Moti, president of Raise Brave Girls, many teenage girls face constant online pressure through mockery, threats, and the sharing of private content, which severely impacts their self-esteem and mental health. The issue also raises broader questions about online content monitoring and regulation. ICT Minister Avinash Ramtahal says the cybercrime unit has been strengthened with new mechanisms introduced for reporting harmful content. Figures from the 2024 CERT-MU annual report confirm the extent of the problem. 1,324 cases of online harassment were recorded last year, making it the most reported cybercrime in Mauritius. Other reported offences include 720 hacking cases, 532 identity thefts, and 520 instances of offensive content sharing. And in other news, to offer a second chance to inmates from Melrose and Bobassa prisons through art and creativity, that's the aim of an exhibition titled Donne-nous un deuxième sens, taking place this Thursday at Hennessy Park Hotel. The initiative, led by the National Human Rights Commission in collaboration with Kinuete, the Mauritius Prison Service, and the Imaya Gallery, seeks to showcase hidden talents behind prison walls, highlighting inmates' journeys, resilience, and hope for reintegration. And it's 9:07. You're listening to RM1, where we move to international news. The Philippine president has declared a state of emergency on Thursday after Typhoon Kalmegi left at least 114 people dead and hundreds missing in central provinces in the deadliest natural disaster to hit the country this year. The deaths were mostly caused by drowning in flash floods, and 127 people were still missing. The tropical cyclone blew out of the archipelago on Wednesday into the South China Sea. The typhoon's onslaught affected nearly 2 million people and displaced more than 560,000 villagers, including nearly 450,000 who were evacuated to emergency shelters, the Office of the Civil Defense said. Finally, in sports, with the group stage of the Champions League in Baku, Karabakh earned a spectacular 2-2 draw against Chelsea, a precious point against a European giant. Pafos pulled off a surprise, defeating Villarreal 1-0. A big win for Manchester City. The citizens crushed Borussia Dortmund 4-1. Newcastle secured a solid 2-0 home victory over Athletic Bilbao, and a nightmare evening for Ajax Amsterdam, beating 3-0 at home by Galatasaray, with the Turks being hit hard in the Netherlands. That's all from me this morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned now to the Intimate playlist until 10 a.m.